In this special coverage for the ninth conference on the states parties to the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, we have the pleasure to have now on RTV International Dr. Badr El-Banna, who is working in UODC. Great pleasure to have you today.
Thank you.
If you can speak more about your role today in this edition and even about your remarks on the United Nations Convention Against Corruption.
Thank you. So the UN Convention Against Corruption, or the UNCAC, has been adopted in 2003 by the UN General Assembly, and to date we have 189 parties to that convention. So the Conference of the State Party to the convention is really an opportunity for those member states to come together every 2 years also to decide on the strategies and the measure to be taken in the future when it comes to the fight against corruption. This is a very important conference. This year has been the anti-corruption year, so to say. The General Assembly had a special session on corruption. It has adopted a political declaration on that topic. Also, a few months ago, we had the GLOBE network, which is the Global Operational Network of Anti-Corruption Law Enforcement Authority, which was established under the UN Office on Drugs and Crime to facilitate international cooperation among anti-corruption law enforcement authorities. So far we have 80 anti-corruption authorities from 48 different countries member of that network, and we look forward in the days and weeks to come to have more authorities joining that network.
Yes. What is the main goals that it would be reached via this ninth conference, via this edition?
As I said, this is an opportunity for state parties to the convention to come together and decide on the strategies and the future measures to be taken when it comes to anti-corruption. Especially in these days, we have the COVID-19, and which is like a sort of an emergency or special circumstances, and this also create more opportunities for corruption. This conference also will have the chance to decide on that. We have the Sharm el-Sheikh declaration, which will be adopted by that conference, which in particular tackle that aspect of the fight against corruption.
But what will be, according to you, the main mechanism to be adopted on the ground in order to fight effectively the corruption?
Indeed, if we look at the international legal framework, we have the UN Convention Against Corruption, which is a very comprehensive framework for the prevention and for the fight against corruption. So what we need is really more implementation of that convention, and this conference also will be a fora also to strengthen the political commitment of state parties to really implement effectively this convention. Fighting corruption, which is not a domestic crime anymore, it has this transnational dimension, so we need also international cooperation when it comes to fight against corruption. We have the mutual legal assistance channel, and as I said, now we have a new channel to exchange information, operational information, which is the GLOBE network. So this conference really would be the place to enhance this political commitment towards the fight against corruption.
My last question will be about the conditions, the bad conditions imposed by COVID on the national level, on the international level, and the burdens that you have today as one of those who are working in United Nations Office on Drug and Crimes, UNODC. So what you can do on the ground in order to fight corruption?
Indeed, as I said, the COVID-19, like any emergency situation, creates more potential for corrupt practices, especially that countries need to take decision urgently without going through the regular channel. Also when it comes to public procurement, for instance, so it creates more potential for corruption. But despite that, we are glad to see, for instance, in that conference that we have over 2,130 registered participants to that conference, which is being organized in a hybrid format. So we have those participants either joining us, most of them are joining us in person, but also others are joining us virtually from all over the globe. They will also have the chance to take decisions on that, especially through the Sharm el-Sheikh Declaration, which in particular tackle this aspect, the fight against corruption in emergency situations.
Mr. Badr El Banna, thanks a lot for this interview.
Thank you.